partner you have and being willing to look at them in all the third eye, all angles, and saying that, okay, this is who I have and I'm willing to go this route, this other route, whatever the case may be. Just talk to me a little bit about, maybe still on the same topic, being willing to take your partner the way they are and however way they turn out. How can you as an individual get to that place? Because sometimes you find the younger generation, as they are working on their relationships and they see this person as they are, they might not be willing to see all sides of the coin.
I think one, we need to understand that life is always evolving. It's like my colleague has said, life is never static. You know, it's nothing that is cast on stone. May it be even in terms of age, physical appearance, and all these other things. So you need to come in a relationship with an open mind, knowing that this person I've met today, 10 years, 20 years down the line, they won't be the same, either career-wise, physically, emotionally, psychologically. They are either going to improve or deteriorate based first on how you handle them as a person, and also based on the environment that they're exposing themselves or you're exposing them to. So for me, coming to a relationship is you should come with an open mind. And then again, there is an issue that I think we have discussed on this show at some point is you need to have a candid conversation at the start, you know, at the onset. And this candid conversation should be very open. You know, people go into relationship with an kind of a conversation that is very naive. You know, you talk about 10 years, we'll be having a house, 20 years, we'll be having this, 30 years, we'll be having that.
Yeah.
But then you don't look at the other side of the coin and ask yourself, like we were talking, I think last Friday, we were talking about the issue of not having children in a marriage. You don't ask. No, we talk about 3 years down the line, we should be having a firstborn. 5 years, we'll be having a secondborn. Then you don't look at the other side of the coin and ask, what if they don't come? So at the end of the day, this conversation that we should be having at the onset of a relationship should be very candid, not only to be positive, but also to look at the possibility of a negative that will come. And then if this comes, how do we handle it? Now, if you do that kind of a conversation, life will be easy. It will be hard, but then it will be very easy to manage and to maneuver. But if you find yourself already in it, you never discussed, and then this thing happens. So what happens next? You react. This one reacts differently, this one reacts differently, and then you find now you have certain chaos, you have certain issues, and now lead now to those other issues, either the emotional infidelity, physical, whatever the gender infidelity that we know, or they're going to divorce and kind of ending the relationship.
Okay, there's something I want to talk about. I know it might be a little bit sensitive, but this topic is on what you mentioned, on being able to allow your partner or your spouse to go through your phone, right? And, you know, having the fear sometimes that, you know, I don't want them to go through my phone, or they have many passwords, face recognition, everything that you can think of. So where do you actually begin? For men, I don't know. Sometimes you find that a partner might not want their partner to actually go through their phone. What is the underlying problem? Is that always the case? And do you think that it should be that everyone should be open enough to put their phones and everything else on the table, especially if they're in a serious relationship, and especially for the younger generation also who are working towards getting married?
I think you need to get it right from the word go. I know the phone issue is a very emotive issue because we say phone is private, but the phone is private to you, and of course not now to the general public or the other people you're relating with. But the moment you have come into a committed kind of an engagement, in this case, let's talk about the married couples, of course, because now the dating part, of course, it's a process again. Because the person tends to open gradually. The first day you meet, of course, you don't expect to get the password to the M-Pesa, the password to the phone, and all these other things. But it's gradual. So with time, of course, if you have gotten to a point where you're getting married, then again, I don't see why you should be having issues being open in as far as phone is concerned, because it shows you're concealing something, you're hiding something. If you are living with that person, you have given yourself to them, they have given themselves to you, then I don't see the reason as to why you should be having this issue of don't touch my phone, don't do this, don't do that. Because what it does is this, it's very simple. It could be very innocent, nothing wrong happening, nothing bad, you are not hiding anything, but if you show you are protecting your data, your phone, your laptop, nobody can access maybe your emails or your private browsing history and all these other things, it starts breeding kind of mistrust. You know, this other person, there could be nothing going on, nothing at all, but this other person will start questioning you. What is it that you're hiding?
That you're hiding. But then again, sorry to interrupt you, Samson. You must remember that this is a situation, you're talking about marriage, but it starts off with the dating, especially when you're courting to marry. And they might argue that, but we were okay when we were dating, and you weren't accessing some of these things. So why now? Why do you want to see my things now?
Of course, that's what I'm saying. You have to set everything right from the word go. Because let me just take you back now to that point of dating. When you're dating somebody, and I understand we're living in also very different times. You know, long time ago when our parents was doing these processes, they could tell you, no, we met, we did this for maybe 2 years, 3 years. We're in a situation whereby people are meeting 1, 2, 3 months down the line, they're already married, or they're living together, or you know, something happens, circumstances put them together at the end of the day. So you have to get it right from that point of dating. We're dating this person, what do they like, what don't they like? And then, of course, because it's a gradual process, get them to open up. Can I access their phones? Can I access their private kind of information? Can I access their maybe laptop? Can I access details about their business if they're in business and all these other things? So it's a process. Now, if somebody is not willing to open up during that process, or there is something that they're kissing away from you, then it's a red flag that you should note from that point, address it before you get into the relationship, because it's likely to breed out something bigger than you're seeing at that point. Yeah.
I really like what you've said, Samson.